Okay, welcome to part 2 of It's My World Too. I want you to think about that for the rest of the time we're together, because you may not believe this right now, but it's so true. So welcome back to part 2. I want to thank the Oklahoma City Arts Council for allowing us to do these videos for you. I hope that you're enjoying them, not just mine, but there's a lot of different artists that are doing them too. I hope you can take advantage of them. Hey, you don't have to be in a class to check these out, right? You can just go to the website, the website of the Arts Council of Oklahoma City and click in. They're all there. So enjoy them during this time where we can't go to school, stuff like that, okay? Okay, we're back to doing the start of this drawing. As you well know, or me anyway, I draw things out pretty detailed at first, way before you do your coloring. You don't have to do that, it just works for me anyway. So, hope you have your materials. Make sure that that pencil's sharp, and we will, let's get this thing done. Okay, now we've started on the drawing already. I know my earth is not perfect circle, you know. I should have taken my own advice and used a saucer or a plate, but I didn't. Next is we need to deal with the continents, you know, and it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. If you don't know the exact, you know, placement of the continents, don't worry about it, right? Just kind of pretend you do. And I just want some land mass. I just want some, you know, the picture of the earth to kind of represent, you know, kind of what the earth kind of looks like from outer space. So, got that, got the moon. I want to do a thing where it's my world too, because it is, right? I'm sure you've heard this word before. When people talk about the earth and the changing of the seasons and you know, all the weird stuff, the weird climate change things that are happening, like that weird ice storm that we had 2 weird ice storms not too, you know. The word I want to talk to you about, the word is called ecology, and you probably have heard it, but you might not know what that means. Ecology is how everything on earth works together. See what I'm saying? It's like in the ocean, you have these tiny fishes in these swarms of fishes, right? And they eat the little stuff on the ground of the ocean floor. They have little microbe things that they eat and little vegetables and stuff, and they grow up and they become the food for larger fish, right? And then human beings step in and they catch the larger fish so we can eat. Everything is connected together, and that's kind of what it's like. You can't have one without the other, right? Ecology is a balancing act where everything is in line. It's balanced, that this is happening so this can happen. It's a system that is so important. You know, you wouldn't think that if the world got hotter, if the oceans got 2 degrees hotter, what would it do? Well, it is a couple of degrees hotter, and we're losing the coral beds under the ocean. because of it. There are so many, because everything is connected. And so that's something to really think about, that human beings, you and I, we're not separate from Earth. We're part of this Earth. That's what I'm saying. It's your world too. And so if you can help the Earth by trying to do the right thing, clean up the messes that you make out in the woods and, that kind of thing, it all adds to a good thing. So, we got this, let's start coloring, or I'm going to start coloring. I'm going to start coloring the land masses that I've got here, these big continents. Green, just because, of course, the ocean is going to be a different color. It's usually represented with blue because the oceans are blue, right? There is this really, really cool artist that I know. I don't personally know. He's about my age and he lives in England somewhere, and his name is Andy Goldworthy. And it's so cool. You need to check this guy out on not Facebook, but on the internet. His work, he goes into these wilderness places and he creates art by picking stuff up off of the ground and making these phenomenal sculptures and stuff. It's like, I don't know, when I saw a documentary of him just the other day, and it really made me think about how some people go into the wilderness and just hack it up for, I want this wood, so I'm going to hack up this place. And then you have somebody like Andy Goldworthy, where he is celebrating the beauty of the world. And it's kind of interesting because artists have always done that. I mean, as far back as ever since there's been, people on Earth and art being made, their artists have always been there to celebrate the beauty. And now, because of the climate change and everything, you have these photographers that are going to these places to photograph these beautiful photographs of places on the Earth that we're about to lose them, right? So you have, again, I've said it 1,000 times so far in this little video, you have a role in making this world and keeping this world a beautiful place. Just a little at a time. Even if it's picking up a red McDonald's cup for French fries. If you see it, pick it up, throw it in the garbage. That's how things change, and that's how things get better, a little at a time. Hey, if you grow up and you become this multi-billionaire and you want to save the rainforests in Indonesia and you want to pump $1 billion into it, go for it, We can't do that. I can't do that. You can't do that either, but we can do our part because this is our world too, okay? So let's get some blue here. I think that we need to get some blue on this planet Earth. There's a lot of talk about what pollution is. I'm sure you've heard that word, but pollution is stuff that, when you dump gasoline into a lake, guess what? You kill the lake. You don't pollute a lake by pouring gasoline in it, right? I mean, a lot of this is really simple, You use your head, It's like, there was this, a couple of years ago, they did this thing about straws, plastic straws, that there have been more straws made in the last, plastic straws, in the last 10 years, that if you put them end to end, you could reach the moon. That's a lot of straws that end up, right? They end up in landfills. Plastic doesn't kind of break down like wood does. You put a piece of broken wood, a branch on the ground, in a couple of years, it's not going to be there simply because it degrades and it breaks down and it becomes part of the earth. Plastic doesn't. So one of the things that you could do is go, I'm not going to use plastic straws anymore. I'm going to write a letter to McDonald's saying, you need to go back to paper straws, because paper breaks down. What's called decomposes. It breaks down to, as we all know, paper comes from trees. Anyway, how's your Earth coming along? Does it look like Mars? Did you get your Antarctic and your North Pole in the right position? We all know where those are. They're on the poles, so that's an easy one, right? But one more saying from my grandma is, she was from the country. She was a farmer at one point in time. She said that we all need to be good stewards of the earth. And what a steward does is it takes care of something. If you're a good steward of your family, you take care of your family. If you're a good steward of the school, you make sure that the school is doing what it's supposed to do. And if you're a good steward of the earth, you always try to think of, this is my home. It's going to be my home for a long, long time. And I have a responsibility to that. Right now, when you're young, you don't have a lot of responsibilities. So I'm just throwing this out so you can start thinking about this. Because you're not going to be, I want you to be kids for as long as you can. But eventually, I know you don't believe this, but I used to be a kid too. Right? So, listen, I appreciate you coming today. I hope you learned something. I would love to know that you've finished these pieces here. Little things like this can help you with your other artwork as well. So anyway, be safe. Remember, when you go outside and you're around people, wear a mask. See, that's another thing that you can do to help the world. Have a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.